What's up, everyone? Shane and
Ryan
here from R&S TCG with special guest Tyger. I'm sure all of you are aware by now about the Commander band announcement. So we got, here are the 4 cards that got banned: Dockside Extortionist, Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, and Nadu, Winged Wisdom. So basically, we're just here to listen to a cat scream. Here to, you know, talk about it, give our spin and what we think. Why don't we let our resident CEDH expert here start on it? What do you think about the whole deal?
Yes, there are equal sides to the argument that Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, Dockside, and Nadu, bad cards. Very, very bad cards. Should not be played. But the Jeweled Lotus being banned doesn't really, it doesn't make sense because that is only in one format of being in Commander, especially in competitive Commander.
Yeah, it makes that card totally worthless now because it is literally a Commander only card.
Yeah. I understand for some people that it's it doesn't really bother me because I'm just a casual player. I'm not into the competitive side. But with competitive players, you just kind of screwed up their entire format. Commander is all inclusive. You can always have a sit down at your table and explain, hey, I have a Jeweled Lotus, I have a Mana Crypt in my deck. If you do not feel like I can play this deck, tell me.
Rule 0.
Yeah.
I will not play the deck.
That's rule 0.
When I first introduced my competitive Commander deck to these guys, I told them there is a slight possibility I will win on turn 3.
Yep.
And I did.
Yep.
So it doesn't make sense for Jeweled Lotus, and I understand the reasonings of slingshots you in the lead of getting your 4-cost commanders out super early, especially now that commanders are really, really ramping up.
As if they weren't already.
Of power level, then look internally, ban those commanders, then or stop making those kinds of commanders, or just have a separate ban list for competitive play.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing, but they don't want to do that because...
No, they want one set of rules for everything, and they want everybody to kind of abide by it. But like you said, rule 0, I mean...
We do rule 0.
It's the deal. Any play group that you're in, it should be at your discretion what you allow and what you don't allow.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's well, not everybody. A lot of the CEDH players really seem to be butthurt online right now. I'm just going to say it for what it is. They're butthurt right now because, now we can't use these. Well, you can still use them in your play groups.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they can't use it for competitive Commander.
They just can't go down to their LGS and smash everybody, which is what they really want to do.
Right.
Because...
I mean, a lot of more competitive people are going to be upset about it because, it is they find their way to have fun in that style. It's not always the case with competitive players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously I build a competitive deck just because I want
because you can, why not?
I mean, Magic is a format that you can just kind of do
whatever you want.
Kind of do that. Yeah. So the Mana Crypt being banned, it just doesn't make sense if you're also going to have Soul Ring.
Yeah, that to me makes
no
sense.
The thing that I see about that, though, is that now with that gone, now you don't have 2 avenues to essentially do that same thing. And they will never ban Soul Ring. Soul Ring is a complete staple. It's never going to get banned.
Said they're not now.
It's just a way to even out the field. I mean, the committee even said the reason why they're doing all of this is they want Commander to remain a casual, fun format that, takes some time to play, essentially. They were tired of seeing turn 3
wins,
turn 4 wins in a 4-player format.
But again,
that is when you talk to your play group about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey,
and that's why there's CEDH and Commander.
Yeah, and casual Commander.
I think what will happen...
There are 2 differences. The other thing, too, is, price. Now, don't buy into Magic for financial. It's not. It's not
investment.
Yeah, Rudy. It's not an investment, Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy.
But I mean, they did just lose a lot of money.
They basically lost $400.
And here's the deal. Technically, they didn't lose anything because it's all on paper.
Yeah.
It's not an actualized, realized loss.
Yeah.
And here's the thing you got to think about too. The types of people that have all of these cards also have so many other cards. You know what's going to happen? Since those 4 cards are banned now, there's going to be 4 other cards that are going to come up and fill those same niches, and the value of those cards is going to go up. So realistically, the people that own these, they lost some value on paper on these cards, but they have other cards that are going to come up in value. Am I to say that it's actually going to balance out? Probably not, but it's not going to be as much of a
loss,
non-realized loss as everybody's making it out to be. And again, like you said, it's a gamble. Anytime you buy something like that, if you're buying it hoping that it's going to go up in value, you're taking a gamble. It's not an investment, it's a gamble. So, and it's a game. It's ultimately a game. It is what it is,
The Dockside of Nadu, I have 0.
Nadu should have never been created.
Yeah. Obviously, they didn't play test that worth of shit when they created that card, because there's no way that card should have ever been created in the first place.
Dockside needs to be banned because every player that plays red has that card.
Well, and that's a very good reason to ban something in Commander. If everybody that's playing that color is playing that card, you need to at least look into it.
Dockside was very much a combo piece on a lot of decks. You could copy it, you can bring it back to the graveyard, you can recur its effect multiple times. Basically, you're playing solitaire at that point, just doing a bunch of mana.
Yeah, and that's not fun for anybody sitting there watching somebody do a 45-minute turn. Nobody wants to do that. That's not fun. That's when everybody just scoops.
Here's what needs to happen then. Again, there needs to be two ban lists. I think what'll happen is there might be maybe a competitive league where they have their specific rule 0, right? Hey, let's do competitive Commander. And we go off this one website. Everybody goes off this one website.
Yeah, I think so. Before this ban, everybody that was playing competitive Commander, I think pretty much any of them that even when they played in groups, probably played by that exact ban list. They probably didn't have much deviation because they're trying to have the most jank stuff they can have possible.
Exactly.
But now with this ban, just because of what is in it, I have a feeling there's going to be a divergence. There's going to be a group of people that are still going to be staunch. Boom, I'm sticking to the ban list because that is what it is. That's the format. And then there's going to be a separate group of people that's going to diverge from that and say, no, we're following most of it, but we're going to allow these cards.
Things,
I have a feeling that's kind of where we're headed with this now. What that does for the landscape of Commander, I'm really not sure. It's not going to affect me personally. I don't play...
That's not going to affect me.
I don't play competitive Commander, so it's not going to affect me. I don't run those cards. Any of those cards that I did have, I sold months ago.
I don't run any of them because I don't...
Ultimately, I don't normally play competitive Commander at all. I normally just play regular Commander decks, and I try to stay away from those cards because, they're not fun. Right. Nobody likes to
play against them.
Nobody likes playing against them. Very, very bad cards. Should be banned. Not fun to play against.
Yeah, but
all these other things too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I see why some people are upset over this, but in the same token, they're just trying to balance the game out. They're trying to make the game more fair, more fun. So I can't say anything bad against the rules committee for doing that.
I can't either, because it's not that hard to just say, hey, we're going to go make our own rules.
And honestly, I think they made this was the toughest call that they've made, I think, ever, that I can think of, as far as, at least in a long time, as far as, hey, we're getting rid of these cards.
Yeah.
I think this may have been the toughest. They're going to get the most flack for this.
They are getting the most flack because
getting a lot of flack for it.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like I said,
they might bring it back. They might introduce a card that does something.
If they unban Mana Crypt and
and that's not unheard of. Not unheard of at all.
They've done that.
They unban stuff, or
if they unban those 2 mana rocks and just be like, okay, well, we heard what you said. We'll unban these 2. We'll keep the other 2. I'm 100% happy.
Honestly, I'm fine with whatever their call is.
I don't care
because I don't play competitive.
We don't play with any of those cards. So
we don't use those
cares.
cards anyways, so it doesn't really affect me. But there is, like I said, there's the chance that down the road a year or two, just because of the power creep that is Magic the Gathering, there could be other stuff that comes into play where at that point they go, well, you know what? Let's revisit these ones. Yeah. Maybe Mana Crypt's not that bad. Let's go ahead and unban it.
They do it in Pioneer.
They do it in Modern, Pioneer,
all the time.
Legacy.
Yeah.
You know, they
ban and unban.
They ban and unban stuff. You know.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah, I think that's it. What do you guys think? Like the video, subscribe, share, comment below. Yeah, thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
Peace.